you might shit.
Oh.
So yeah, that's the end of that sentence.
All right, welcome, my friends. We are here with my good friend Ari Pappalardo, local rock star, a local legend here in Cary, North Carolina, located just a few minutes from here. And we are going to have a good conversation today, and we're going to talk about Ari's... Excuse me, sir. You cannot smoke in here. There are rules to this podcast. You can't... You can't eat cigarettes in here either, for some reason. Secondhand, I don't know what that would be. How's it going? Welcome.
It's another day.
It is another day, that is true. But that is not the answer to my question. How are you?
Pretty good, Ryan.
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, great. It's good to have you here. When did we meet?
Didn't we just meet?
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen this guy.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about him yet. He seems like kind of a dick. I mean, look how he's dressed. Sick, man. Yeah, what is that jacket made out of?
Roadkill.
Roadkill.
Yeah, it looks like it was a python.
It's probably made out of slavery, honestly.
Don't
Child slavery.
Just pure. I hope not.
It's made out of cobalt.
Well, we all do what we can to make sure our garments are safe of slavery and child woe.
I actually
pain.
I don't make sure. Actually, this shirt was made in Egypt. I saw it this morning. It's made in Egypt, and I was thinking, who in Egypt made this shirt to be sold at Walmart for $5.99?
Well, you metal guys go out of your way to make the general public uncomfortable, so.
Do we?
Yes, I said that.
Okay. Fantastic. So what you been up to, man?
Well, woke up, I brushed my teeth, I, dressed like some kind of weird
So you brush your
hip-hop.
teeth?
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you keep good oral hygiene at all times. There's no excuse.
Wow. See, I thought I was alone in that,
Alone in brushing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just something I did. I thought I was weird for it. But it's good to know that there's somebody else, especially a like-minded individual, an artistic, I did say artistic individual, musician, that you also brush your teeth. That's good to know.
It's very important, sir. It's very important. You got to put your best face and your best scent forward. So I would think that in all of the networking that we do in our lives as musicians, we would at least do the world that courtesy,
I agree.
Also, shout out to all you people out there who aren't drinking alcohol. Apparently, any alcohol that enters your mouth is carcinogenic, including mouthwash. Yeah, that's right. When your saliva meets with alcohol in your mouth and then you digest it, your body's like, no bueno, this isn't good. You guys can look it up. You look it up. Any and all alcohol can screw you up.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think it's been 2.5 weeks now since I've had an alcoholic beverage.
My man.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, so we've been kind of farting around here on this podcast already. Of course, I know Ryan. He's a friend of mine. No, I don't remember where I met you. What a weird question to throw at me from the jump. Because, that's really just like, hi, Ryan, welcome to my bedroom. When was the last time you had a dream about me? When was the first time? It's like, do you remember? When did you meet me? I don't remember. I know it was Abbey Road.
It had to be Abbey Road.
Had to be, because we don't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
Except here.
Yeah. You must have just played there one night.
It must have been at you and your dad and open mic night, and it was interesting because I think meeting you, I didn't know, not in that context, I didn't know that you were musical as well. I definitely didn't know you could sing. I definitely didn't know you recorded in metal projects around the world. So he's kind of a humble guy, He could dress nicer.
Some say I'm the most humble guy that has ever existed. I wouldn't say that.
I think the most humble guy wouldn't say it, but people have said that about you. So you maintain your humility.
A lot of people have told me I'm the most humble guy.
Okay, we'll just edit out that right there. Just edit. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Slide another invisible cigarette.
But speaking of shows, you play a lot of gigs, right? How often are you playing now? I mean, pretty often. You stay pretty busy.
I mean, a few years ago, it started out that I would be doing things on the weekends, and then, pandemic happens and you reevaluate your life. And really, these days, I could have a gig on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday, and, it's really just, I'm really fortunate because in this community, there are other musicians who sort of look out for one another, and there was like, a wine bar show on a Wednesday, and a guy messaged me and said, "Hey, man, I got this gig, and I just think you'd be a better fit." It was kind of a weird one. It was
it Peak of the Vine wine bar?
No, it was called Triangle Wine.
Oh.
And they were representing the Maynard James Keenan vineyard in Arizona, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. Maynard James Keenan of Tool and A Perfect Circle and Pussifer. He is he is very into wine. Very into wine. So I had an event, and the funny thing was people expected me to play Tool and things like that. So so it was just kind of nice. They have a 5-course meal and everything.
Solo Tool.
Solo Tool, yes. Yes. It was interesting, and as soon as I got there, I wouldn't say I shit myself, but I was definitely like, oh, these people here are really expecting me to deliver on this acoustic Tool thing, and never have I ever. But just the first thing that happened was one of the guys working there was just like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear Sober. That's gonna be so cool." And then I'm like, run to the bathroom and I'm like listening to it, and I'm like, "Okay, we can fudge this."
Oh man.
And, I just did my best.
Rough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. It wasn't like it wasn't Wagon Wheel. Let's just say that. But they liked it, and the representative from the vineyard was happy with me as well. So hopefully he went back to Maynard and he said, "Hey, this guy doesn't suck." But then I thought, how many times has this guy left the vineyard, gone across the country, and been in a similar situation where there's a high ticket value, there's dinner, there's drinks, and there's a musician who's probably been pressured to cover some Tool.
Yeah.
I bet he's seen people knock it out of the park just completely.
But they were happy with it.
They were happy, and I was being myself as well. So I got my guitar solos in, my original songs, and my stuff. But it's just interesting, and anybody who's watching this who plays shows, we deal with all sorts of interesting forums, from being in the bar scene, being up on the stage, having your band be the headlining thing, to the corporate gig, where we're really just, they're pretty much telling you to turn down the entire time, but then you get paid really well for it. And then before I knew it, the guy was like, "Hey," the owner, he was like, "Hey, you can sit down because the guy from the vineyard's going to speak again. We're at a new course, so a new wine's coming out. He's going to tell another story." So I actually did a lot of chillaxing for that gig, and I'm happy. So shout out to Triangle Wine Bar for having me, and I hope we can do it again. It was an enjoyable experience, but also we're very used to just doing these long-ass shows, so it's really cool to have an event where there's a purpose, and people are there to celebrate that, eat dinner, drink wine, and hear a little music, and it's cool. So that's how you survive. To answer your question, that's how you survive. You have corporate shows on the weekday, and you play a Lowe's Foods, and which I do, and then you have a weekend of traveling. I was just in Wilmington. I played an Elvis themed barber shop.
Did you sing any Elvis songs?
I did not, but I did have the gold suit.
Oh, okay.
And in the Elvis themed barbershop are several like life-size statues of him. You've been to the Abbey Road that has like the Blues Brothers?
Yes.
It's exactly that. So it's a giant life-size kind of weird caricature of Elvis.
Well, you've seen Abbey Road, and Cary has the Elvis.
Yeah.
By the back door, they have the big Elvis.
I don't know why I forgot that. So it's exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Brought up the Fuquay one. So shout out to Abbey Road for employing us and also bringing us weirdos together.
Sounds like a fun gig.
In Ryan's bedroom.
Oof.
Dun, dun, dun. Sounds like a fun gig. Which one? Beale Street Barbershop in Wilmington?
With the Elvis-themed thing. I think sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was a cool show, and I'm happy they have me. And then people come in and they pass the hat. Just a very like kind of community-based thing. Anyway, so shout out to Mark Sinnis for booking me on that, having me play, being a consistent guy. And once again, Ryan, I left my pants at the venue.
You left your pants at the venue. Why did your pants come off in the first place?
My pants tend to come off at the venue.
Oh.
Because naturally, I'm Lady Gaga, and I think costume changes are very important. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I saw you at Bond Brothers East Side one night with the consequences of our own actions.
Whoop whoop.
And yeah, you said that I would enjoy it because it was going to be very metal. And
it wasn't.
So
metal.
I got a good taste of Ari Pappalardo with the band, which I think you're doing again, right, at Bond Brothers. This is not Bond Brothers East Side. This is the main Bond Brothers location.
Yes, the original Bond Brothers on Cedar Street.
On April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a day after your new song comes out. So
That's right.
Nice show.
That's right. The single is coming out April 7th. So anybody listening, please pre-save the single. It's called What You Wish For. And then on April 8th, I'm going to be in front of a huge crowd at Bond Brothers from 3 to 4 p.m. My band is going to perform. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of surprises for you. Rock and roll, chaos. We got some glam. We got some punk stuff in there. And, of course, the original secret sauce. It's just going to be a really fun time. And, honestly, it's probably going to be the biggest shows I've done yet. There'll be hundreds, if not thousands, of people out there.
Yeah, at the show I saw you at on Bond Brothers East Side, you had the band with you. I had my flip-flops on. I'm standing there in front of the stage. You come out with a cinder block and start smashing a keyboard on the floor in front of me, so I had to jump away so I didn't get my toes crushed.
Spoil all my secrets. Yes, like I said, death and destruction to all. Yes, carnage.
Yes, zombies eventually came out. It was a whole thing.
I was going to ask, what show did you attend? And you just told me. So you were there June 9th. That was just after my 33rd birthday. So naturally, I wanted to have a birthday cake.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a birthday cake with 33 candles, and something I've always wanted was I love zombie movies and horror movies, special effects makeup. So my buddy who went to school for special effects makeup, he came out and was kind enough to create zombie masks and fake guts.
Yeah.
So that
they look like sausages or something.
It was, yeah. Well, we can't spoil all of the secrets, but yeah, it looked pretty legit. And at the end of the show, my friends busted through the stage door and came up on stage and ripped out my guts. And I'm very pleased that was probably our third or fourth time talking to each other. So, yeah, it's just a weird bucket list item for me, and I'd love to do it again. A good old gut rip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's memorable and it's fun, and yeah, it was just an homage to Day of the Dead. You know, the guy gets his guts ripped out, and they're chewing on him. He goes, "Choke on him, choke on him." His last words, his blood's coming out of his mouth. Great movie, by the way. Day of the Dead, not Dawn of the Dead.
Not Dawn of the Dead. I haven't seen Day of the Dead.
It's the third one. It goes night, dawn, day.
Oh.
Days in the 80s. And by then, they had perfected their special effects makeup. I'll just go out and say it. I love Dawn of the Dead, the original, but those zombies are pretty much green people.
Yeah.
They are pretty much like, just at some point, they really ran out of budget. And they just go, let's just make a funny face. And people are going, I'm a zombie. And it's like so stupid. This Day of the Dead, if you guys have never seen it, you might shit.
Oh.
So yeah, that's the end of that sentence. Yeah. So yeah, April 7th the single comes out, and April 8th the show happens, and it's, gosh. Anyway,
Yeah.
I can't wait. I have a fantastic group of people. I've employed this drummer named Lars. I have Hal on bass, and I have Allison playing keyboards. These are all wonderful friends of mine, and yeah, we were actually rehearsing last night, and it's all coming together. We got a hot hour of rock and roll, and there's just enough time for a little chaos in there. You kind of alluded to.
Hell yeah.
I like it to break things.
I'm excited to see what happens. I think I'll be there.
I hope so.
I've never been to the original Bond Brothers location, I don't think.
Well, when you go on April 8th, it won't be that. It'll be its own thing. They actually build a stage in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a damn sea of people.
Ooh.
And the volume of, because I bartended there last year, there's a sea of people, and it's such that they can't do transactions. You have to get drink tickets because of the amount of the volume of alcohol that's going out is just crazy. So people run up and they throw, four beers and 4 tickets. Okay, there's no time for poking things into an iPad or tips and cash. And so it's just one of the most insane events I've ever been a part of because of that. Because they really go, hey, I mean, they're actually going to slow down the trains. They actually call the train company and say, hey, we're having an event next to the train. It's going to be several thousand people all day. You can slow down the trains.
Huh. Interesting.
Power.
Yeah, that's power.
That's power.
That's the power of music, baby.
We stop trains or we slow them.
Yeah.
Slow trains.
Slow trains. We don't want to stop the train.
Wouldn't it be messed up if like a supply chain issue occurred and then it was like, what they like go, how did that happen? What was the root of that? And they're like, oh, Bond Brothers. Oh, wait, this guy Ari, he was playing?
It's a domino effect that affects months and months of...
Yeah, we become like the pariah of the nation. We become like this, pretty much like when the when North Carolina was catching fire for the bathroom laws and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And when just like, like Pearl Jam's like, we're not touring there. Like all of it happens again because of us. That would be rock and roll.
Right.
Yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen, folks. And I hope to see you out there bright and early at 3 o'clock on April 8th. It's going to be a fun time.
We're going to slow down the train full of toilet paper, and we're going to have a toilet paper shortage again, and it's going to be chaos.
Diapers, vaccinations of all kinds, everything will be delayed.
Formula.
Diet Dr. Pepper, for those of you who care, you're not going to get it. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Wow.
But hey, the rock and roll is going to be good, and we're going to take a lot of photos, videos, so if you guys can't be there, but I urge you to be there, there will be evidence of the destruction. So come on down to Bond Brothers.
Fantastic. What else do you have going on? I mean, that's not the only show you have planned. It's a pretty big show, though. That's a big gig.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great year so far, and usually musicians really struggle in the first couple months of the year, like January and February. People book out. By the end of last year, they may have booked out 4-6 months into it. So I'm fortunate. I'm with a company now, Anello Productions. Shout out to Sophia Anello. She's been a fantastic booking agent, friend, social media manager, just giving me a lot of tips and tricks on how to, make more waves on the internet. And, working with her and, in conjunction with my own booking abilities, I have a nice full calendar. So, April's going to be a good one.
Fantastic.
I'm playing in Boone. I'm playing in Zebulon. There's definitely going to be some local things, of course, in Raleigh and Cary and parts around. But just super excited to get out to the mountains and play out there for my super fan, Jake.
That's right.
Jake Casey. He's probably the only person who's going to watch this. But Jake, I hope there's room for me under. I don't know. I hope there's room for me in the basement of your dorm or whatever the heck we're going to do. But hey, that's going to be a fun show. And because I'm such a professional, that show is at the Tap Room, TAPP, tap as in app state, the Tap Room on the 27th of the month, 27th of April.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be fun. And then the very next day, I come back and have a show April 28th, and that is going to be at Bricks in Cary. So that's a pizza place,
Yes.
Bricks Pizza.
Oh, I've been eating a lot of Bricks Pizza lately.
Oh, you have?
Yes. There's a Bricks Pizza right next to local 919.
Oh, yeah.
Been going there lately, and that Bricks Pizza location is the best.
Clark Street?
No, it's on Dunn Road.
Okay. No, I don't know where that is. Okay.
Yeah, it's
There's quite a few of them.
it's in Raleigh. It's about a 25-30 minute drive from here, but yeah.
Okay.
That is the best Bricks Pizza location. We have told them that, and they know that.
What's so good about it?
It is just better quality.
The food quality's coming out good.
Food quality's better, yeah, because the other Bricks locations, they have new menus with new items, and they are not fully comfortable with those items yet. This specific Bricks location has the classic menu, and they have perfected it, and the pizza comes out looking better, tasting better. It is just better.
Well, Ryan Strain's endorsements aside, I hope you guys can come to the Cary location where they do cook pizza, and they also have a lot of wine and beer and things that you like. We're sober, but you don't have to be.
That place was good too. It is also a good place for music. The setup is very nice. It's a good area.
Yeah, I'll have to check out that location. But yeah, April 28th I'll be at that Bricks, and then the 29th, Allison Hatfield, who's playing with my band on April 8th, she has pulled me into a special festival for charity in Holly Springs. It's also called Springfest. So April 8th at Bond Brothers is called Springfest. So is April 28th. April 29th, excuse me. Saturday, April 29th is that. And so we're playing at some point in the early afternoon, and she's more of a Nashville pop country person. I think of her as a little more of an old school country person. And yeah, Allison's fantastic, amazing singer, piano player, guitar player, and we're going to be playing her stuff. So this is exactly what I wished for. This year was, I was like, hey Sophia, hey booking agent, I want to play festivals. I need to play festivals. And it's like, all right, wish granted. You got 2 of them in April. It's like, sweet.
Give them what you wish for.
Give them what you wish for.
Yeah.
Give them what you wish for. Pretty sure that's how it goes. We're going to remix it in his style later.
Yeah, we'll do what a lot of people used to do on YouTube, where they would say, this is a metal cover of this popular song, and all they would do is just growl over the original song. Like, that's not a metal cover.
Stop calling, I don't want to talk anymore. Let it go.
Like, that's not a metal version. That is just you growling over a song.
I was in a band like that once. We've all had these lulls in our lives. So right now, I'm a hashtag winning or something. But I was a loser once, and what I mean by loser is, I don't mean that musicians who struggle are losers, or that I don't mean that anyone's a loser, but when you end up in a situation,
that makes me feel better. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I mean, okay, present company excluded. I'm sorry. No, I like you. I can't even be pretend mean to Ryan. I mean, we like each other too much. We're buds. But in this situation, I was in a band called Rip Torn. Shout out to Rip Torn, and I was 20 or something, and your band explodes, your bass player quits or whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna go join this guy's band. And that band was actually kind of industrial metal with a pop tinge, and they covered Telephone by Lady Gaga. And he actually had me record on it, so I'm one of the voices in the back going, stop calling. So just wanted to let you know that somewhere out there, ladies and germs, somewhere out there is a music video and a version of this by Rip Torn. It's Lady Gaga and Beyonce's Telephone, but as done pretty much as if Rammstein did it. Rammstein, whatever you...
Rammstein.
Yeah.
Das ist gut.
I had to look it up because Rip Torn is a person.
Yes.
Yeah, an American actor.
Hold that up to the camera. Yeah, Rip Torn is a person.
I will add the picture in later.
But Rip/Torn...
Yes.
is or was a band in the 2000s, an industrial thing. Aaron Soon was the individual involved, and Aaron created all the music, sang all the things, played the guitar. And I was just in this band for a while. Just go over to Aaron's house and very much like this, be like, all right, just come hang out in my setup and check this stuff out. Anyway, I was lost. That was the point. I was lost. Lost. And it sucked. It sucked not pursuing my own endeavors because, like you, we're cerebral individuals. We have we have worlds inside of we have worlds between our ears. We have stuff we want to express. Your metal music is clearly thought out in depth. You have a story to tell. There's a rich thing there, whether or not people want to access it. So to put your own dreams or songs or ideas on hold is a depressing thing, whether or not, even if I joined Foo Fighters or something, I'd be like, I'm the bass player of Foo Fighters, but I'd still feel like I lost, if that makes any sense, guys.
Right, because it's not your emotions, not your feelings, it's not your thoughts. You're playing with a cool band, it's fun, you're doing music, but to not express yourself individually is, you have to do that. You have to. Yeah.
Gotta, because that's the key to happiness. Is you express yourself to be understood, and when you feel that from people and they reciprocate, you're like, well, there's nothing better than this. You are actually celebrating me for me in a way. Like you are seeing me. You're not like, oh, great, you filed those reports on time. It's really amazing. Oh, might be a raise in your future. It's not. It's not that feeling. It's a feeling of like someone read your diary and said, "Oh, how impressive," or something.
Right.
It's a weird. It's a weird thing, but also they're not just saying how impressive. It's not just a pat on the back. They're like, I really like your music. It's kind of the soundtrack to my life. It's something that
when someone deeply connects with it.
Yes.
That's, even if it's just one person, if it's very rare, that is a very special thing. It feels like a victory. Like that's what it's all about, right?
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah, you got to just stay in the game. If I'm giving any advice to anybody out there, any creative person, even if you're just wanting to have a podcast or something, I urge you to start. I urge you to promote yourself and talk about it, because that's it. That's the key. If you just start to do you have no idea how the world is going to react to that, and the positive reaction that could come from that, and the monetary reaction, all the things that could serve you. It sounded like a joke, but of course artists got to get paid too. And if you didn't have money, you wouldn't be able to afford whatever the hell this is. And that's really soft.
One song paid for all that.
One song
should be coming out pretty soon. Actually, I just got the cover art for it.
Ooh.
It's in the mixing process. It'll be coming out pretty soon. It's a tribute to fallen musicians that we look up to in our lives, and some specific people. And it's a pretty cool song. I'm hoping that it'll be out pretty soon. It's been in the works for a while now. It's been almost a year.
What's it called?
It is called, what is it called? Pass the Torch.
Pass the Torch. Love it.
Yeah, it's called Pass the Torch. The guy that I'm working with, he was trained by the original guitarist from All That Remains. It's a metalcore band that is kind of peers of Killswitch Engage at the same time.
Your resume, dude. It's awesome.
It's pretty, yeah. I mean, I'm not directly connected to this, but the guitar player was a student of Ali. I don't remember the guy's last name, but he used to play for All That Remains. He passed away, and but he basically taught Andrew, this guy I'm working with. He taught him how to write songs, and so this is like the first song that he's ever composed on his own, and he wanted vocals. He wanted good vocals on it, so he reached out to me, and we made something, and he's mixing it himself, and he's learning how to mix as he's going along, and it's coming together pretty well. So I'm excited for people to hear it. It's a pretty emotional piece. It has a nice little part at the end that it is the tearjerker moment. I'm looking forward to it with the video and everything. It's gonna be nice.
Pass the Torch.
Pass the Torch. Yeah.
Amazing. So you mentioned something a moment ago. You said it's based on your fallen musical heroes.
Yeah.
And you want to list off a couple of very important musicians to you, either living or otherwise?
I think the most important person that was in my mind during this whole writing process was Chester from Linkin Park.
Oh God.
Good old Chester Bennington.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That was a big one for me. That is the main one for me that hit me the hardest out of anybody. But I mean, there are some other vocalists. I mean, Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder recently passed away a few months ago, I guess. Time is strange now for me, but I believe it was a few months ago. That was a big one for me because I got popular on YouTube from 2009 on, from doing covers of that band and kind of getting known for doing that. And so that guy was very special to me, and to have him pass away for very similar situation with Chester, was another taking his own life situation, which is never an easy thing to deal with when you hear something like that, because especially when you're in a place like that yourself, you're a musician, you're a vocalist, you're a singer, you're whatever you're doing, and you feel that way, and then the people that you look up to are then losing that battle. It's
yes.
It can stick with you a little longer. But I have to brag a little bit. I'm going to brag because this month of March has been the longest month that I've experienced in a long time, because I've been doing more this month than I have done in a long time.
And not drinking.
Will
also make things feel longer.
Yes, that is true. But for the last few years, I've been feeling like a loser with nothing to do and nothing to show for it, and I've been in a pretty dark place. But for this month, things have, I don't know, the light has come on, and I'm doing more. Every day I'm doing something now. I'm busy every day. I have a calendar with something on it, and I quit my terrible job that I had for the last 6 months, and I started this brand new job I'm a manager at, with good hours that allow me to do everything else that I want to do at the same time.
Quit your soul-sucking job, people.
Yes,
quit it.
Quit the soul-sucking job. It's not worth it. The money's not worth it. If you get a job where you allow yourself to have more time to do other things as well, you can make up for that and also feel satisfied.
Yeah, find your bliss, guys. Find your bliss.
So I'm proud to say that for the last... it's been about 3.5 weeks now. I have not had one single day, one single thought that I needed to end my own life, which is a huge deal for me, because it has been every second of every day for the last 3 years. And now to not feel that way, I look back and I say, I can't believe I was feeling that way for so long. And now it feels like a distant memory, but I was deep in it for so long.
That's wonderful, man. I'm gonna push this applause button that's over here. Oh, it's not hooked up, but there really should be applause for anyone out there who's suffering from thoughts of self-harm, or from self-harm to suicide, or harming others, or anything like that. Guys, there is another way. Reach out to someone, talk about it. It's okay. We're all human beings, and we all have our moments of not feeling so hot. So it's important to talk about it. Even if we're gonna just talk about it on a podcast, I think it's important to talk about it. But yeah, suicide's real. People are depressed. Don't bully people. Build people up. Don't break them down. Because I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a whole army, or several armies of people who took the time to either say, hey, I see you artistically, or even if just, hey man, I think you're funny, or like Ryan, he's like, hey, you're a good friend, or whatever. I don't know about that, but it's just chilling.
You're a good friend.
I got a full body. I don't know. I think I had a near death experience. I'm not sure, but it was good.
Right.
It's good. We like to live kind of close to death, but not really.
Yeah. I think you have to appreciate those dark times, because when you're going through them, they're horrible. But I had this thought the other day. I think if there is a meaning to life, this is not the Lex Fridman podcast. I'm not going to ask you what the meaning of life is, but if there is a meaning of life, I think it is the whole thing is to learn how to deal with the dark times so you can appreciate the light times better, because you don't always appreciate the light times, the good times, because you're going through it and it feels okay, everything's going great, but then when it all drops away and you lose it and things happen, there's trauma, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. It is a life-ending thing. It's a catastrophe. You catastrophize it, and then you don't feel like things could ever go well again. You feel like it's all gone. Everything's hopeless. But if you, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I feel like the more you learn to deal with trauma, the more you learn to deal with the hard times, and you realize it's only temporary. It's not permanent. It is temporary. That when the good times come, you can appreciate them more, and you don't take them for granted, I think.
I think that's very well said. And to that point, I think that as human beings, we might be capable of sort of like, no, sorry, this isn't a joke, but straining out the... Ryan, strain everybody. Straining out the negativity from our own memories, because I've had many situations where I know on paper I was miserable, and then come to find out a year later I'm nostalgic for that time, even if it was kind of what you're saying. It was the dark artistic time when I lived in Durham in the Roach Motel, and you turn on the light and there'd be 1,000 little critters in there, and definitely had invasive thoughts, definitely heard the thoughts about killing myself, definitely was like I was going through a breakup. I had a lot of, you could say I had a lot of chemical deficits. I had a lot of things that were propping me up that suddenly those supports were gone. The girlfriend's gone, moved across the country. You're in a band, or you moved in with your band and you thought it would be one thing, it turned out to be another. And next thing you know, you're waking up with, pretty much waking up with a thought saying, well, don't wake up, Yeah. And that's a tough place to be. I am a million miles away from where I was when that was occurring. But then I can look back on it, back to the point, I can look back on it and go, there was something weird and artistic and romantic about that time where we were 4 musicians stuffed in a townhouse, and it had a sax player sleeping on the couch. Pam and I were upstairs. David, the guitar player, slept on a cot in the middle of everything. It just looked like insanity. It would be like you'd walk into the kitchen and then look past the kitchen. There'd be a piano, amplifiers, computer, and so many music books from NC Central University and beyond, and then a cot. And he would just sleep there in the middle of this literal hurricane of music. He'd just sleep there. And then, he'd be watching Netflix or something, he'd be, smoking out of an apple and just doing the things that people do. Wow. But I'm like, I thought that was going to be the best time of my life living with those people.
Because it does sound like a romantic idea.
It does sound like a romantic
idea.
idea.
Being surrounded by instruments, being surrounded by things that are supposed to inspire you. But I can imagine that it can wear down on you after a while.
Yeah, we could never escape the music, so it became a little debilitating. We lived off of, Wendy's and cheap liquor. I definitely remember going to the liquor store and us just buying a bottle and going through it in a night and just being like, that's no big deal. We just had this real, people talk about a poor mindset. It's not just about the money in your pocket. It's about where your head is. Mm-hmm. And if we were winning or had extra bucks or felt some type of good, we would go and drink it, or we would go and, we'd go and do something youthfully destructive rather than something constructive, I guess you could say. And on a long enough timeline, some of us grew to resent each other a bit, and it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I'm sure I know I have a part to play in that. But just zoomed out, it looked like the right thing to do. Or I'm going to move in with the band, and that's going to be success. Mm-hmm. Or we're gonna double down on how much we rehearse and no, we're gonna double down on how much we write. No. What happened was we all just were separately depressed in the same unit. Mm-hmm. We were all just, oh, you're upstairs watching TV. Oh, you're downstairs watching TV. It was just like that, and we still were getting stuff done, playing shows and stuff, but it just was not what I thought it was. And back to what you're saying, the negative thoughts were like palpable. Then they were like. It was almost like another person in the room. Yeah. Another voice to go, hey, this ain't going so hot. Maybe you should end it. Yeah. Hey, this ain't going the way we thought it was. Back it up. But that's just not an option. And you persevere and you make new friends. You experience new opportunities, and you see new paths to walk. Mm-hmm. Not to say new a million times, but you write new music and you just keep pushing. So that was my 10th band, and it was once that band ended that I was very decidedly solo. Mm-hmm. And now it's a situation where if I have a band show, I make a big deal about it because I've hired people, I've put in the time with the people, they're great. It's exactly what I want it to be. But for so many years, I was just like in a band. You had to deal with those personalities, and some people wanted to play ball and other people were like, I just want to drum, I don't want to dress like that. And like whatever it is, you learn to put up with it. So it's really cool to get to a place where not only am I celebrated for my original music, but now you can get a band behind it and just fine-tune that into the most entertaining thing that people can get in front of. And that's what I'm about these days. I'm about entertaining people.
Yeah, I think that's a good setup for you because you have the ability to play by yourself, but also with the band. So it gives you a lot of options. You're more flexible. You could take more different types of gigs, which I think it's great. It's a great setup for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really just been a dream come true because all I ever wanted to do when I grew up was stay up all night and really make my day up as I go along. I hated waking up, catching the bus at 6 a.m. I hated feeling like you were meant to be under fluorescent lights for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. It's like I do enjoy that. I wake up and what was on my to-do list to hang out with you, to do this podcast. Later I'm gonna teach a little music, and then I'm gonna go to open mic night, and then it will be the weekend again.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday before the Friday, and on Friday I'll be up in Wake Forest playing at Tonic, which is one of my favorite.
So you're going
places.
Open mic at Abbey Road today?
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I was just saying words, just giving people context.
All right.
Yeah. Don't do that to me.
But I will be there. So if you are there, I will see you.
Nobody puts Ari in the corner. The Corner Tavern. All right. No. Ooh. All right.
Ooh,
back it up.
Tavern.
Back it up. Back it up.
I have a story about the Corner Tavern.
Oh, I don't want it. No, please.
That was about karaoke. It's not about.
No, there's nothing but pain.
Do you know the guy that runs karaoke there?
Let's just talk about item number something.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait. So item number 4.
Yeah. So the new album called Loyal Subject. So explain to me how the title of the album came along. What is Loyal Subject?
So the first.
Who is loyal, and who are they subject to?
Well, I like. Not to be like, I actually came up with this before, but I like St. Vincent a lot because she has a bunch of album titles that people say they're, what's the word? It's something like unnervingly kinky or something about it. Like one of her albums is called Strange Mercy.
Okay.
And another album is called Daddy's Home. And it's called Daddy's Home.
That's a little less subtle.
yeah, but Strange Mercy sounds like BDSM, even though they're really just words. And, and then Daddy's Home is about how her father got out of prison. but it sounds like what it sounds like, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah.
And I thought that was clever. But before all that, I had an album called Minstrel Class, and people were like, "What's minstrel class?" a lot, and I said, "Well, it's like a contractor, a gig worker, someone who, gets pulled into a situation but is not like employed. So sort of an outsider. It's also a traveling minstrel. It's the minstrel class. Myself and Mysti Mayhem and all these great people going around. Allison Hatfield, Story Charlemagne, Brian Jones, Eric Helf. I'm just gonna keep saying names of people, local people.
Yeah.
This is waste a lot of time. But no, not wasting time. We're in the minstrel class. So then Loyal Subject, I feel, is the next thing. So you go from that. So Loyal Subject, well, it's really about devotion, and the loyal subject is what it is. It's someone who's just kind of almost hopelessly loyal to a person or a situation. So if you hear the album, you'll hear lots of deep love songs, dedications, if you will. It's more of a personal record, whereas the first record was the first record. It had a lot of ideas from over time. Mm-hmm. It had a few tributes to friends of mine who had passed away. It really covered a lot of ground. And if you read the article in Big Takeover magazine, they said I didn't cover every base so well, or something like that. I know, but they're probably right, because rock and roll is rock and roll, and I love mixing other genres into my music, but I like where Loyal Subject is going because there is more of a cohesion of parts. I think it's going to be when it's done, it's going to be very well produced, very just very radio ready and beautiful sounding. Noel White is producing on it, mixing on it. He drummed on it, and has been just a great human being to work with and to make these ideas realized. There's nothing better, as you know, there's nothing better than getting an idea out of your head and then being able to listen to it. And then if you're lucky enough, being able to listen to it when it's like high quality, mastered through an amazing system, and you've spent all the time and money and everything to get it to that point. There's nothing better than that, and so few of us get to take a project to that level, but it's so good when you do. So Loyal Subject is going to come out probably by the end of the year. The first single is What You Wish For. We have other singles, including Both Sides of 40, talking about the highway, my favorite highway. Both Sides of 40 and Menace are going to be coming out. And yeah, so pretty much all summer long, look out on my Insta, and you'll be seeing new music dropping, new catchy songs to run around in your head. And at some point, I'm going to play one or two right here.
That would be great.
Right now. But at some point.
At some point, you let me know whenever you're ready. We'll do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but Loyal Subject, I like the idea of like every artist that I like when the albums, when you put them together, they sort of tell a story. Maybe it's a 1, 2, 3 story, or maybe it's a part 1, part 2. But I like the idea of at least an album title, so you can sort of put these things together, and they will sort of have they'll allude to an evolution of self, if you will, a growing. I don't know what the third album will be called, but it will continue to play on this sort of royalty or this kind of class thing that I have going on. Minstrel class. You think of like a medieval bard, and then Loyal Subject. I see a guy kind of kneeling on one knee before the queen or the princess, and then whatever the third album is the next step from that. Maybe that character,
the assassination.
Yeah, well, maybe that, or maybe that person finds power. Maybe that person becomes the one on the throne, or the one making decisions, or maybe it's just all thrown away. Maybe it's just called Apocalyptica or something. Yeah. It's a hardcore metal album, but
there actually is a band called Apocalyptica.
There is a band called Apocalyptica. Yes, it's not
a very good band.
I will not make that album. It's not me. Yeah, Ari Pappalardo, Loyal Subject. It's gonna be fun.
Do you know when the album is coming out?
Oh no.
Okay. Is it still in the mixing process?
Yeah, we're recording it. Yeah.
Oh, you're recording it. So you have some finished singles, but you're still recording them. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So we have some beautiful shiny eggs in our basket, ready to give out to people for Easter time, I guess. And I just had to say it. But yeah, the album itself, I'm proud of it because it's a real style divergence. I'm playing some songs on piano, songs that I wrote on piano, and like,
I didn't know you even play piano.
Exactly.
Wow, look at that.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's cool. I played piano on my record. If it wasn't Gabe Reynolds, Wake Moody, it was me playing keyboards on it, playing the synth and stuff like that. So I did do that. It is my first instrument, but it's not the one that I write on as much. But I'm sure every musician who's watching this can attest that it's always fun when you pick up an instrument that you're not, it's not completely your second language, and you can, you'll just kind of have different ideas.
Did you take piano
I
lessons?
I did. So that's why I said it was the first, because when I was 9 or 8 or 9, we all had lessons, and it sort of fell away. The piano was always there, so I would actually go up and I would improvise on it. My parents would be like, "That's nice, but that's not anything." And I go, "Great, that's great."
That's nice, but it's not anything.
They probably didn't say it like that.
It sounds like parents.
They called it mood music, but yeah, it does sound like parents. They called it, when I did that, they said, "That sounds like mood music," which I guess I didn't take as a compliment or as a deterrent. I was just like, well, I'm gonna do it. If it just means like playing all the black keys and hearing what that sounds like, whatever. But then you're 14 and you get the guitar, and that's really when songwriting and expression and singing and playing all began to churn together and become something I could use. Because when I was a piano player, I didn't feel like I was gonna get anywhere with hot cross buns, or I didn't think that. But now it's good to understand music well enough to go, all right, these are the chords. And we have songs that we're performing April 8th, and it was fun to go, "Hey, Allison, you're playing keyboard on this, Allison Hatfield," and I'd be like, you need to really hold it down for, "That's Not How You Love," because it's a great song that has like a piano intro, and like before everything drops in.
Another catchy chorus, by the way. Very catchy choruses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's almost like what I do. It's almost what I'm about.
They stick with you.
I'm about catchy, hard-hitting, dark music of the pop rock persuasion. But don't quote me on that, because there's just a lot of genres.
People will tell you what your music is.
Yeah, and that's fun, is that I'll do stuff and they'll go, even at rehearsal last night, someone said, "That song kind of like," and they're like Foo Fighters-ish. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. I guess there's kind of that post-grunge Foo Fighters thing. It's a heavier song. I'm kind of growly instead of sounding really pretty. I don't know if you deal with this in the metal realm, but are you ever trying to work against yourself, your habits of sounding kind of pretty or polished? Like, do you kind of work to... And this is interesting, because I've heard your voice go from operatic, clean, to super growls, low growls. Is there any kind of philosophy that you go into it? Do you go like, this is a song where every note I sing should sound kind of dirty? Here's a song where I need to sound very pristine, technical, perfect. How do you... It's a loaded question, but take us through that.
For me, I kind of go riff by riff.
Riff by riff.
So I listen to the song a bunch of times, and I get the mood of the song. But really, each riff, each little section of the song kind of tells me what to do. Okay. But I also try to question my first instinct too, because when I started out, I was just doing only screams and growls. I sang as a kid, but then I stopped doing it, got into screaming and growling, but I always had that thought, okay, well, I'll do that, but I can't really sing. Singing is not my thing, but I can do these other types of vocals. So I just did stuff like that. And whenever I did covers that had like a clean part, I would skip it, and I would just like do a dance or something, or do something silly, but I never did that. And then I got interested in singing more, and I started working on that. And it really was certain bands that I found. There's a band called Camelot that I discovered in 2010, and his singing was just so cool to me that I wanted to start mimicking that, and I started learning how to sing that way. And so I worked on that more. So my instinct was always, whenever I was working on original music, to, okay, I'm going to scream and growl, and then there will be a part for cleans, and I'll work on that, and I'll save it for like short sections. Maybe have a clean chorus, but the rest of the song is screaming and growling. Now I go into it with, I can do anything. And so when I hear like a really heavy riff with like a fast drum part, I think, how could I sing softly over this? How could I sing melodically over this, instead of just defaulting to screams and growls? Because I feel like that kind of gets, I don't want to say I'm over it, because it has its place, but it's not as important to me like to just scream and growl. I want to do as many catchy, clean. I like writing melodies now. I like coming up with melodies. It's so fun. Like when I come up with a good melody and it just like comes right out of my head, just right over the song, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna sound cool.
Yes.
You know, that's fun for me, because the screaming and growling, it fits certain, like if the guitars are melodic, then the vocals don't have to be melodic. So if there's melodic riffs with harmonized guitars playing, that tells me to scream and growl or do whatever fits over that. And then as soon as the guitars lose that melody and it's more, you know, chugging and stuff like that, then I'm free to do whatever I want with that. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I let the song tell me what to do. It's kind of more of like a paint by numbers, you know. It's like there's so many options of what that riff will call for, and I'll think, okay, what would so and so do there, and that kind of helps me, you know, figure out where to go.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just instinct.
A little bit of context, if you guys didn't know, he has a band that's is it Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do the music and they send those tracks over to him to add vocals, and they'll fly him out to Germany to record it. So these things have happened. So look out for new music from Ryan and his band. But what you said about, you know, figuring out what vocal tone or what vocal approach, that reminds me a lot of my time with that Durham band, Absent Boundaries, which was a 5-piece prog band. And we had a couple songs that were pretty much character pieces. Like we wrote enough work to fill a double album, and we had an entire story. There were characters. I sang different voices to represent different things. There were low sung songs to be one guy, higher songs to be another, and then growlier songs to be the antagonist, who we called the Shadow Man. So we went through all this, and it all culminates in this song that we only called track 3 because it was, I think the running time of it, he made it all in like Sibelius, like he made it all in a program so we could listen to it. It was like 10 minutes or something like that, 9.5, 10 minutes. It had 3 different movements in it, each movement very different. It was very, time signatures were crazy. It was very non-melodic. It was almost whole tone or diminished scale. And all I could do was like tell the story through this, you know, I'm going like this. You know, all I could do was sort of get this, you know, I'm trying to get the message of the album and tell the narrative of the album and go, now you have a song, you have a canvas, and the canvas is 9 minutes wide, you know, or whatever. It's enough to say anything or say so much. And so, you know, I remember just having to go into these songs, listen to them again and again, and like you're saying, just go, what the hell could happen here? What the hell could fit? This is where the shit goes crazy. Oh, this is where it got a little melodic, so now I'm gonna do a little blues hook. And, you know, like all these things. It was a lot of fun. The sad part was we never completed it, so no one gets to really know. Like, you didn't even know. That was before we met. So that band dried up in 2016. If you guys didn't know, it's already 2023 or 3037 or something. It's pretty late in history. And Absent Boundaries is no more, and will remain no more, and that's fine.
They're truly absent at this point.
100%.
Boundaries have dissolved into nothing.
We don't even talk to each other, so it's just what it is. But just because the world isn't going to appreciate everything we do doesn't mean it wasn't fun or important that we went through it. And, you know, I grew a lot in that process. I learned a lot of do's and don'ts, both in the live performance realm and in the band sphere, just interpersonal skills with bandmates, as well as songwriting, and sort of being that person to go, I see your idea, I'm trying to add to your idea, I'm not trying to stunt your idea, I'm trying to improve your idea. A lot of collaborative work in that band, and also a lot of fighting and bickering, and 3 people writing in the band, and us all kind of doing our best to democratically get so-and-so's idea past the go point. And yeah, it was a lot of work, and just trying to keep people happy or motivated. I hate bands.
Because a band is a relationship. It's a relationship that has to be maintained.
Band is an orgy.
A band is an orgy. Everybody has to be heard. Everybody has to be
needs met.
Yes, everybody has to have their needs met. Everybody needs to feel like they're being listened to and being appreciated.
There's always that one guy at the orgy that sits on the chair and watches and sulks, and you're like, "What do you want? What are you into?" And that guy's the bass player. And I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That guy's not the bass player, but that particular individual is that person who is resentfully they have input, but they're like, I don't know how to articulate this. And you guys are all louder than me anyway, so I'm going to shut up and be quiet and do my job, but I kind of hate you. And you deal with that, and then eventually that person pops and quits and goes, I haven't been happy for a long time. And you're like, what? Why? And you're like, because I never get an idea past go. And you're like, well, you don't talk loud enough. You know, it's like you're not prolific, you know, all these things. You don't say what you need, so we don't know to give it to you, kind of things. You're a bunch of grown guys, so, you know, who's really having these powwows anyway? I think we were the best when we felt that people were against us. When we felt that we were being attacked by a venue or a faction or just something, or being frozen out of something. That was when we were more of a band than ever, because we were like, oh, they're all coming to get us.
Yeah, you have a common enemy that you can team up against.
At one point, it's pathetic, but we were losing like Facebook likes, and one of the members of the band believed it to be sort of a domino effect of something that had happened or was done, and believed that, you know, like someone was kind of undoing us through the internet. Does that make sense?
That's a lot of power to give somebody that they can take away followers.
Yeah. Or a bunch of frivolous people are going on their page and unliking things, and it's a coincidence.
Yeah. Or it could have
lose 10 likes.
Algorithm cleaning itself up, and
people get blocked and kicked off of Facebook for nothing. And you know, I made a joke about shanking someone to a friend, and I got banned for a week from Facebook, and I didn't know I just couldn't log in, and I was like, I don't really know. And then Facebook sort of like a father was like, so you said these things, and do you agree with what you said? And it really was like, you know, kind of like, what do you think of our verdict to suspend your account? And I just was like, I guess I'm going to agree with you, Nazis, because what else is there?
Yeah. You can't fight YouTube.
Yeah, disagree. I'm not even talking to a human. I'm talking to an algorithm that's designed to catch words that I say that may or may not be threatening. I was being sarcastic. Forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, I said I 3D printed some Horcruxes from Harry Potter, but, you know, they're really sharp on the edges, you know, in case you need to shank a bish. That's what I wrote, and that's
it. That's all I got you.
Bish, BISCH. HHHHH, bish.
So you can post pictures of your family holding guns. You can have a dead animal next to you. You can, you know,
have a butt plug in, and everything's fine. You're not showing nudity.
Yeah. You can show a picture of the lion you just shot in the heart, but you can't say shank a bish.
Yep.
Because that's violent.
I wonder if I could make a wax or like a mold pressing of my entire naked body and then stand next to it and be like, I'm not naked, but he is. He's a to scale model of. You know, and that's on Insta, just like me next to that being like, and would I get banned, or is that art? It's really this is a conversation for the ages, because I know all sorts of people who get banned for things, and they might just be like, hey, I'm a girl in a bikini. It's like, what happened? Why is this banned? You know, it's like there are spicy and more sexual things all over Instagram these days, and it's like someone gets banned for that, or saying shank a bish.
I've seen advertisements that are more offensive to me than any other content. I mean, there are these mobile game ads that are just disgusting. You ever seen these mobile game ads where, you know, like it shows like some woman that she's pregnant and then the baby falls out and dies, and it's like some puzzle game. But it shows like she's stuck out in the cold. She has to go in this house, and like you have to click the right button to patch up the window, and then it shows like the puppy dies, the baby dies, and she dies. It's like, oh my God, I thought this was a mobile game. It's awful. Excuse me, sir.
You stressed me out. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
So I think there's not much else to do.
Yeah, you want to play us a song?
I think I'll play a little music for you guys, and then maybe we'll chop off the last 15 minutes of this or something. Just kidding.
You got to give them what they wish for. This is what they wish for.
Okay.
Standing at the end of the world today. Guess it really isn't quite as bad as they always say. Tell me, what star do you pray to? Will you leave this hollow or follow through? Oh, you were the one, but now that time is Careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. My love will stand. My love will stand. When I get a song stuck in my hand, it stays. Guess it is exactly how it is, with your voice in your face. I wanna be someone you look up to. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Need to be someone you look up to. Oh, ooh. You were the one, but now that time is done. Careful what you wish for, what you wish for. Careful what you wish for, what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. My love will stand. My love will stand. And I forgive every stone you throw. And I will love you more than you will ever know. I will love you more than you will ever know. Careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for, love. Be careful what you wish for. 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 My love will stand. My love will stand. My love will stand. My love will stand.
Hello. I no longer drink, but when I did, I was a terrible menace. And a woman told me, she said, Ari, you are a menace. And I drank the shot and I pushed it. I pushed it to the end of the bar and it shattered into a million pieces. And she said, oh, Ari, you're a menace. So I wrote this song. Sounds like this. Tell me, am I a man or a menace? I am smiling as the glass is breaking and I'm caught up with the cracks I'm making around me. If you ask me, could I care less? Well, that's anybody's guess. Tell me, what's that feeling? Everybody's having but me. Is this everybody's heaven? Am I a man or a menace? The problem, everybody's having in isolation. Aren't we all just starving for attention, for some acceptance? I need a vacation from me. Oh, and the ceiling is getting low. I want answers, I need to know. Tell me, what's that feeling? Everybody's having but me.
Is this everybody's heaven? Well, I'm drinking venom, raising my tolerance to see. Am I a man or a menace? Will you raise your confidence for me? Well, am I mad or manic? Well, that's anybody's guess. I swear I've got no feelings I cannot cope. Spent a long time gone, long time alone. I swear I've got no feelings I cannot cope. Spent a long time gone, long time alone. Yeah, there is a saying you ought to know. Leave well enough alone. Yeah, there is a saying you ought to know. Leave well enough alone. Tell me, am I a man or a menace? Am I a man or a menace? There's that feeling everybody's having but me. Everybody's happy. Tell me what's that feeling? Everybody's having but me. Is this everybody's heaven? Yeah, I'm drinking venom, raising my tolerance to see. Am I a man or a menace? Will you raise your tolerance for me? Am I mad or manic? Is that anybody's guess? And will you raise your tolerance for me?
Ari Pappalardo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.